Welcome back to English Pod, everyone. Today, we're diving into those awkward moments we all face, specifically forgetting someone's name in conversation. Aileen, why do you think these situations are so common, even for fluent speakers?
Great question, Mr. Majesty. Name forgetting is universal, partly because our brains prioritize new information over stored details like names. In English-speaking cultures, these moments can feel especially embarrassing since direct address is so common in greetings.
That's a good point, and I think many learners worry about appearing rude or unprofessional if they forget a name. We'll explore strategies for handling these situations and teach you the most useful phrases along the way.
Exactly. And as we move through today's episode, we'll also highlight some real-life examples and share tips to help you sound natural, even when you're caught off guard.
Let's start with greetings. In our dialogue, Anna greets Nick with, "How's it going?" rather than the more formal, "How are you?" Aileen, why is this phrase so widely used?
How's it going? Is casual and friendly, which makes it perfect for most everyday interactions. It signals openness and warmth much, like a wave or a smile. A 2022 survey found that 70% of native speakers prefer informal greetings with friends and colleagues.
So next time you see someone, you might say, "Hey, how's it going?" instead of, "Hello, how are you?" It sets a relaxed tone and makes you sound more like a native speaker.
Absolutely. And if you want to adjust the level of formality, try, "How are you doing?" or even just, "Hi there." The key is matching your greeting to the situation and your relationship with the other person.
Transitioning to talking about places, our speakers used "around here" and "right around the corner." Erica, can you break down how these phrases differ and when to use them?
Sure. Around here generally means near this place, while right around the corner is more specific, like something literally on the next street or very close by. For example, you might say, "Is there a pharmacy around here?" if you're in a new neighborhood.
And right around the corner could be used if you're giving directions or suggesting a meeting spot. For instance, "There's a cafe right around the corner from my office."
Exactly. These phrases make your English sound more natural and help you navigate real-world situations, like asking for recommendations or arranging meetups.
Let's talk about expressing urgency. Nick says, "I'm in a bit of a hurry." How does this phrase help soften the message when you need to leave quickly?
Using a bit of makes your statement less abrupt and more polite. It's the difference between saying, "I have to go now," and "I'm in a bit of a hurry," which shows you value the conversation but genuinely need to leave.
That's right. And you can adapt this phrase for different contexts. "I can't talk right now," "I'm in a bit of a hurry," or even, "Could we catch up later?" "I'm running late."
It's interesting psychologists suggest that adding qualifiers like a bit of or sort of makes refusals sound softer, which can help preserve relationships in both business and casual settings.
Moving on, let's discuss contact details. Anna asks, "You still have my contact details, right?" Aileen, what counts as contact details in English-speaking business culture?
Contact details usually include your name, phone number, and email address, sometimes your company and title. In many countries, exchanging business cards is standard, but now, sharing a digital contact or LinkedIn is also common.
It's important to note that in some cultures, sharing contact details too soon can seem pushy, while in others, it's expected right after meeting. Knowing the local etiquette can help avoid awkwardness.
Definitely. And using a phrase like, "Here's my card with all my contact details," or "Could I get your email address?" can make the exchange smoother and more professional.
Now for a tricky situation. Forgetting something important. Nick says, "Your name has just slipped my mind." Erica, why is this phrase so effective for softening mistakes?
"Slip my mind" is a gentle way to admit you forgot without sounding careless. It's like saying the information escaped you temporarily, not that you ignored it. It's much less direct than, "I forgot your name."
Plus, it's commonly used for all sorts of things, not just names. For example, "I'm sorry, your meeting slipped my mind," or "It just slipped my mind to reply to your email."
Exactly. Research shows that using such idioms can actually build rapport as it makes you seem relatable and honest, rather than robotic or overly formal.
Let's explore the phrase "terrible with." Anna says, "I'm terrible with names too." How does this idiom help us talk about our weaknesses?
Terrible with is a self-deprecating way to admit areas where you struggle. It can be used with numbers, directions, faces, or technology. Saying, "I'm terrible with directions," for instance, is both honest and relatable.
And it can help ease tension, especially after an embarrassing mistake. By admitting a flaw, you invite empathy. Most listeners have their own areas where they're terrible with something.
That's right. Plus, it helps normalize imperfection. In fact, surveys show people feel more comfortable around those who own their mistakes or weaknesses, increasing trust in personal and professional settings.
We've all been there forgetting someone's name in the middle of a conversation. Erica, what practical strategies do you recommend for handling this situation smoothly?
One effective trick is to ask for their business card or email. You could say, "Could you remind me of your email address?" which usually prompts them to state their full name. Another option is to introduce them to a third person, so they'll naturally say their name.
I've even used the old, "Sorry, your name just slipped my mind for a moment." Honesty tends to work best as long as you're polite about it.
Absolutely. And studies show that over 60% of people appreciate honesty in these situations, as it keeps interactions authentic and reduces the pressure on everyone involved.
Let's focus on fluency now. Aileen, how can learners combine these phrases to sound more natural in real-life situations?
Fluency isn't just about knowing words, it's about chaining them together smoothly. For instance, you could say, "Hi, how's it going? I'm in a bit of a hurry, but do you have your contact details handy?" This blends greeting, urgency, and a practical request.
That's a great example. Or if you forget someone's name, you might say, "I'm so sorry, your name just slipped my mind. I'm terrible with names." It's clear, natural, and reduces embarrassment.
Exactly. Practicing these combinations helps learners respond quickly and confidently, which is the key to sounding fluent in spontaneous conversations.
To wrap up, I'd like to touch on cultural perspectives. Erica, how do English-speaking cultures typically handle forgetfulness and politeness in conversation?
Great question. In English-speaking cultures, acknowledging small social mistakes, like forgetting a name, is often handled openly, with a touch of humor or apology. Using phrases like "slipped my mind" shows humility and respect.
And in many cases, being upfront about mistakes can actually strengthen relationships, as it demonstrates authenticity. The important thing is to use polite language and keep the conversation positive.
Exactly. So, while forgetting a name can feel embarrassing, it's also an opportunity to connect more honestly with others. And with these phrases and strategies, learners can handle these moments smoothly and confidently.